Yeah, we continue to watch the weather ahead of tomorrow's start of the big test match at Sabina Park between the West Indies and Bangladesh. But we're staying with football in this segment and schoolboy football. The time is up on us. The first showpiece matchup of Jamaica's schoolboy football season. The final of the ISA Champions Cup will take place on Saturday at the National Stadium in Kingston, with the last two winners, reigning champions Glenmuir High taking on Jamaica College. And either way you slice it, and it's a nice piece of cake, history will be made. In the red corner, they say, Glenmuir will be looking to become the first team to win back-to-back titles since the All-Ireland Knockout Tournament started in 2014, albeit under a different name, of course, while in the blue corner, Jamaica College will be aiming to become the outright most successful team in the competition's history by winning a third crown. They'll go ahead of Kingston College, who also have two. The stage is now set for what will be a titanic clash. And for an encounter this massive, we have a preview to match. With us to aid in this is our in-house football analyst, Lejay Williams, in all his golden glory. How are you doing this afternoon, Lejay?
Yeah, I'm pretty good. You know, I'm excited for the match, just like how you sound like you are.
Yes, I am really excited for the match, Glenmuir versus Jamaica College. And I was thinking today about last year's final, Glenmuir versus Clarendon College. It's one of the best matches I think I have done in schoolboy football. It was thoroughly enjoyable. I wish I could do a match like that every single day, but you don't get what you want. But this JC versus Glenmuir clash, before I get into the tactical aspects of this game, well, maybe what I'm about to ask is part of the tactics, but JC will be without their frontline goalkeeper. How is that likely to impact this match? It's not the first time this season we're going to see them without him. How are you looking at this?
Yeah, I think, you know, I was having a conversation with someone earlier today, and, you know, a lot of people might think that the goalkeeper point would be pretty minor when it comes on to this clash, but not in this case. I think when it comes on to Tawayne Lynch, who is suspended for 2 more games, so he would miss this game and the Manning Cup semi-final as well on Tuesday, I think without a shadow of a doubt, he is the best shot stopper, the best goalkeeper in the under-19 age range in Jamaica. He has represented Jamaica at under 15, under 17, and under 19 level, and under 20 level, I beg your pardon. And he is phenomenal, really, when his head is all there, I have to say. But when it comes on to his importance, as you said, that you didn't want to ask a tactical question, but it is extremely tactical. Now, what he allows Jamaica College to do, as you see, he hasn't played too much this season because of, you know, indiscretions or, you know, just injuries, because he did hurt his ankle through the season as well. But one thing that he offers Jamaica College is a level of control with and without the ball. Now, in possession, that's where I think it's most important, because Jamaica College are a team, and I'll get to explain what Jamaica College do and Glenmuir do and why it's so similar and why I think he will produce a really good game. But on ball for Jamaica College, they love to possess the ball in deeper areas. They love to do it in the defensive third, the middle third. They just like to pass the ball around, try and draw the opponent onto them, and then launch a quick attack. Tawayne Lynch is imperative to how they do that. He would often come forward and go into the first line of ball playing. So he would form a 4 with, they typically form a back 3 or 3-1, 3-2, you know, all of these shapes that we've grown to see all across football. He would come in and form a back 4, creating a numerical advantage in that first line and making them extremely difficult to press. And when it comes on to Tawayne Lynch and his goalkeeping, it's not only his ability to shot stop and cross claim, which he's very good at, but it's also his ball playing. He's phenomenal at it. So when you take away someone out of that first line, it immediately decreases the numerical superiority that Jamaica College would have. Albeit, I don't think that Glenmuir are going to press them as high. So I think they still will have the superiority, but he takes away from there. And most importantly, on the defensive end, because that's what goalkeepers are there to do, stop goals, enough of the nerd stuff, he immediately, I think, decreases the confidence in the defenders right in front of him, not being there. So the other goalkeeper, Kitson, I'm not saying he's a bad goalkeeper by any stretch of the imagination.
But he's made a few simple mistakes this season.
And he hasn't necessarily been, because he wasn't as bad as the goalkeeper that they asked from the squad previously. So he's okay. Yeah. He's all right. But He's tentative when he's coming off of his line, and you can see that he doesn't offer the same level of security to his defenders. You can see especially Mills, who would play in the middle of that back three when JC are defending their rest defense. He is now pushing much deeper and staying much deeper to sweep up, as opposed to keeping that high line and pinning in teams. That's why JC have to play around the back so much, because they don't have that security behind them. And most importantly, we're going to speak about this before the game in the build-up show. I have a segment called Keys to the Game. Glenmuir are one of the best, matter of fact, they are the best team when it comes down to set-piece delivery in schoolboy football. They've scored 15 goals in schoolboy football this season from their, what would it be now, 88 goals. They've scored 15 of them directly from corners. It's a really, really impressive tactic from them. And here you'll see an example. They vary it. And here you can see Jamaica College's keeper on the day, Kitson, will be just like the Ocheria's keeper in this clip. Static, on his line, not being proactive and coming out. That's going to cause a problem, because Glenmuir are so good at working these set pieces. So I think that those two main issues, on ball, off ball, and set pieces, or three issues, will be why Jamaica College will miss Wayne Lynch so much, and why it could be extremely detrimental for them in the game.
Yeah. Why are these teams so similar?
Well, they're so similar because both of their coaches, being Davian Ferguson for Jamaica College and Andrew Peart for Glenmuir, they both employ a very continental style. They're both very fans of possessional play. Possessional play is a style of possession-based football which allows all players to occupy certain zones on the pitch. It's popular when you see it with Pep Guardiola, Mikel Arteta. A lot of the new age coaches use it. It was familiarized by Louis van Gaal and Johan Cruyff back in the day. So when you see like an inverted fullback that Jamaica College and Glenmuir love to use, both of these teams use it to a high level. They both like to possess the ball. They both like to keep 5 players across the front line to outnumber the opponent's defense. They're very similar, but as I touched on, they have a couple of differences as well. So Andrew Peart and Glenmuir, they're much more vertical than JCR. They like to get the ball into the final third and pin teams there. Jamaica College, they like to possess the ball deep, and then when you're drawn onto them and have less numbers at the back, then they will spring their attack. So that's where the difference lies. But I think that the difference is what's going to make this a really good game and a really tactical game. Because from my point of view, as most football games are, it will be won and lost in the midfield areas. As I touched on, Glenmuir like to use inverted fullbacks. Pneumonia Blackwood, their left back, comes in field a lot. He's been doing this for quite some time now. Right? You must have remembered him from the 2022 season. Now, when he comes inside, they form their back three with their left centre-back pushing wide to defend that wide area. Now, if you pay that close attention in the Ocheria's game, Ocheria's left 3 attackers always on Jamaica College, on Glenmuir's final line. That caused a lot of transitional opportunities for them and problems for Glenmuir. So Coach Andrew Peart was now faced with a dilemma. He fixed it by dropping back Blackwood into a natural left-back position and dropping back one of the central midfielders that was occupying the last line, forming like a 4-2-4 shape. Now, teams will live with this because against Jamaica College, they want you to have that type of structure. They don't want you to have 5 players against their 4 defenders. They want one of the numbers to drop back, and they'll live with you having more numbers in your defensive third. Now, is Andrew Peart going to be brave and still play that tactic? Because if he does play that tactic, Glenmuir will outnumber Jamaica College 4-3 in the middle of the park. He will get an advantage on the ball. But is he brave enough to do that at the expense of off-ball security? That's where the game is going to come down, and I can't wait for it personally.
Yeah, interesting in terms of, you know, looking at the similarities and differences between these 2 teams. I don't know if the analysis stretches this far, but based on your understanding of how these 2 teams play, are we likely to see many goals tomorrow?
I was also speaking about this with someone today. It's because my prediction, I'm not going to, we'll wait until the very last thing in the segment, but it's either going to be a 1-0 or a 3-1. That's how I see it. So it's so contrasting.
Yes, it is.
It really depends on the first 15 minutes. As I said, both of these teams are heavy possession-style teams. So it's dependent on who is going to take the grip of the game in the first 15 minutes. Because the first 10, 15 minutes, yes, both of the teams want to play football, but the most important thing in football, as I've said before, you have to earn the right to play. So the first 15 minutes are going to be about winning your duels and trying to establish that superiority that you will have over the other team. If it's Jamaica College who wins that early battle and they keep the ball well, I can see them grinding out a 1-0 result just by outpossessing a team. And you know what Jamaica College does. They make games dull. They bend the game to their will. Yeah. But if it's Glenmuir who are going to push the issue and pin Jamaica College back, they can go on and score goals because, especially if they score early, Jamaica College will have to come out of their shell and then Glenmuir will have more chances on the transition. So I think the game could go two separate ways. I'll let you guys know which way I think it's going to go very shortly.
Yeah, all right. Well, apparently it is that time for you to let us know which way you think the game is going to go.
Yeah, it's a flip of the coin, but due to the absence of Twain Lynch, honestly, as I said, I think I'm going to see a Triple Crown this year. And I think it's going to be Glenmuir winning this one by 3-1. That's my prediction.
Well, I don't know if that is good or bad news for Glenmuir, but we'll find out on Saturday at the National Stadium in Kingston. The J. Williams says, yeah, Glenmuir to win it by 3-1?
Yeah.
By 3-1. That's good. 4 goals. I can work with that. Should be a good game. The J did use a word, though, when he said dull. And yes, sometimes the JC games can seem a little dull, maybe because they're so tactically astute. It can turn out that way, but let's hope tomorrow is a super exciting one. Yeah, all the action in this gargantuan clash will be live on SportsMax. So the pre-show beginning at 4:30 p.m., 5:30 ECT. Kickoff is at 6 p.m. local time, 5 p.m. local time. That's 6 in the rest of the Caribbean. There you have it in lovely gold, Jamaica College. Yeah, versus Glenmuir. And by the way, keep sending your top 10 players of the season in both the boys and girls divisions of the Trinidad and Tobago Secondary Schools Football League. Send your top 10 list to our WhatsApp number, 876-564-7661. We received quite a number of them between last night and this morning. So keep sending your top 10 list, all right? Let's take a break. We'll be back with more after this.
Thank you.